appreciate the Chief of Army Staff for the courtesy he has accorded us and the honor he has done to us by assembling all the generals, all the principal officers of the army to receive us in this delegation. We thank you very much for that. And I also want to seize this opportunity to officially congratulate the Chief of Army Staff for a well-deserved appointment by Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have had a lot of story about the Chief of Army Staff, and all the stories are positive. And the appointment was given to a well-deserved officer. We congratulate you very much, and we congratulate the Nigerian government for having you as the Chief of Army Staff. Secondly, I also want to appreciate my brigade commander that is in Katsina. He has been very supportive to the administration. He has been very supportive to us in managing and tackling the insecurity that has been disturbing and affecting our people in Katsina State. I came personally to congratulate you and also to seek for more collaboration and support between the Katsina government and the Nigerian army. In fact, without the presence of the Nigerian army in Katsina, I wouldn't have known the condition the state will have been. But we have been getting support, and we have been getting the support, and we will continue to ask for more support. It's not anything new. In Katsina State, we have been suffering from this banditry, cattle rustling, and criminalities of many sort. And Katsina State is such a vulnerable state because we border Niger for a span of over 200 kilometers. And we also bordered the forest for about 8 frontline local governments. And it is also for over 200 kilometers, right from Jibia local government down to other local governments, Safana, Tamusa, Kankara, Pascali Sabwa, and Dandume local governments. They all bordered the forest, and the forest is such a large rugged forest that is well known to the Nigerian army. And that makes our communities more vulnerable to attacks by the bandits. There will hardly be a day that will not have the news of killing 1 or 2 persons or kidnapping 1 or 2 persons in those local governments. Sometimes I don't even want to open my phone to see the kind of security report I will be receiving, despite our presence of the security agencies. But because of the vulnerability and the number of the communities within those local governments in smaller unit, it makes it more easier for them to attack. And that has also moved down to about other 11 local governments that borders those 8 local governments that are also getting one kind of attack or the other through their forests. So I think I will not ask for much, but I want to appeal to the Chief of Army Staff and the Nigerian Army to expand the Operation Hadarin Daji in Katsina State to those 19 local governments. We really need that. The Operation Hadarin Daji has been taking care of most of the security challenges, but I believe if the Operation Hadarin Daji is expanded to those other 19 local governments, it will go a long way in helping us to address the issue of insecurity. Having considered the challenges of insecurity in the state, when I came on board, we met with most of our retired generals in Katsina State, retired AIGs, and DGs, Deputy Inspector General of Police, and other security agencies and other stakeholders in the state, we felt that the only way we can address this insecurity is to have a unit that will have the security, the military, as well as the police to address the issues, which we felt it is important to use the locals. These locals, when they are properly engaged in a much professional way, they can help in gathering intelligence, they can help to support the security agencies that are existing in the state to address the security challenges. So on that note, we came up with a project and we took to our state assembly to enact a law to enable the state to establish community watch officers. These community watch officers, they will work hand in hand with the military and the police and DSS to ensure that properly we can address and protect our communities. And we have done it in line with the law and also with all the necessary processes that to ensure that they may not end up being a problem to us in the future. So that is why we have designed a form in which their ward head, their village head, their district head, DPO of the local government, DSS officer in the local government, as well as the chairman of the local government must sign and certify those people that we are engaging in this civilian JTF process. And all that process have been done, and their training is undergoing. They are undergoing training at the moment by the military, by the police, and by the SS, and engaging them in most civilized rules and regulations of engagements in whatever capacity. And we are providing mobility to both of them and the police, the vigilante. We are providing them with motorcycles, Hilux and other vehicles and other apparatus. And as I have mentioned earlier, that we are also using the technology in tackling the insecurity in our forests, because technology will go a long way in helping the military and the police to make their job as easy as possible in addressing the challenges. I know that there are a lot of challenges in the country, and I know that the military are also too exposed to those things, because we have so many locations and so many states that we have one kind of insecurity or another. So, but still, we know that you are stretched, but we still ask for more support from you, and we also need more guidance, and also we need synergy and good working relationship in our state and in the country as a whole. So we thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to see you promptly in a very short notice, and we also acknowledge the kind of reception that you have accorded us. We thank you, Chief of Army Staff, for doing that. We thank the management of the Nigerian Army, and we thank all of you for this reception. Thank you, and God bless our country, Nigeria.
Thank you, Excellency.
On behalf of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, I welcome His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, and members of his entourage to the Army headquarters this morning. And I want to sincerely thank His Excellency for taking time off his busy schedule to be with us in the Army headquarters today. And I also want to appreciate the governor and the good people of Katsina State for the excellent working relationship that they've established with the Nigerian Army formations and units deployed in Katsina State. Reports we get from 17 brigades and the units in Katsina have been cheering and encouraging. I've been told of the support of His Excellency to the operations and other activities of 17 brigades in terms of donation of vehicles, the reactivation of Operation Mesa in Katsina State, and even support to the families of our departed colleagues. So I want to appreciate you, Your Excellency, for your support to our formations and units. I also want to appreciate His Excellency for thinking along the line of the civilian contribution to the military effort to combat the security challenges in Katsina State by establishing the community watch officers and even bringing them under a well-structured command and control arrangement. The position of the Nigerian Army has always been that wherever we have these civilian arrangements to contribute to combating security challenges in the states across the country, they should be properly structured and well organized so that they don't become a problem to the communities where they are organized to provide security and watch. So we appreciate the understanding of the Katsina State government and the efforts put in place to ensure that the community watch officers in Katsina are properly structured. And I also want to pledge that 17 brigades and the units of the Nigerian Army in Katsina will work with these community watch officers, because when they come on board, they will be a plus to the operations and activities of the Nigerian Army units and formation in Katsina State. I've taken note of the request of His Excellency to expand the coverage of Operation Adari Indaji in Katsina State and other requests. And I want to state quickly that some of these requests we can meet in the immediate term. Some has to take some planning to meet the request and the demands of His Excellency. We will look at how we can provide the needed combat enablers to the formation of Nigerian Army in Katsina State. We look at the vehicle holding and other combat enablers, and where we find gaps that the Army headquarters can meet in the immediate term, we will do that. Expanding Operation Adari Indaji will require the intervention of the federal government, because the federal government is funding that operation, and there is a particular size of troops and equipment support physically deployed on the ground that the government is providing the sustenance for. So we approach the federal government. We have observed the migration of the criminal elements from the northeast to the northwest zone of the nation, and we are developing appropriate contingency to combat that threat. And in combating that threat, we have identified the need to expand the troops holding of Operation Adari Indaji and even the combat enablers in the field. But we are waiting for the federal government to respond. But in the immediate term, the Army headquarters will look at what we can provide.
Thank you so much.
We also want to appreciate the government and the good people of Katsina State for coming up with the idea of the deployment of cameras to watch over those 8 frontline local government areas and other areas that border the forest. We know that this will provide the information and intelligence required by our troops to act appropriately and combat security threats. I've also been informed that the Katsina State government is in the process of procuring armored personnel carriers and other combat enablers. And I believe when these are eventually available and deployed in the field, they will help a long way to enhance the effectiveness of our formations and units in the field. And I also want to thank His Excellency for the confidence reposed in the person of the newly appointed Commander 17th Brigade, and in other areas where His Excellency has exercised concern over our troops that have been deployed for long duration in some locations in Katsina. We will take appropriate action to rotate the troops so that they will be rejigged and be more effective in the discharge of their responsibility to the people of Katsina State. In closing, I want to appreciate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, for taking time out to be with us at the Army Headquarters this morning. We have received a feedback on the performance of our troops. We have observed the gaps that need to be covered for our formations and units to be more effective in the field, and I promise you that we will take appropriate actions, and going forward you will observe a better response and more effectiveness of our formations and units in the field. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, sir, for your remarks. So at this point, may I